where wouldn't grow up. Or we lived off in Never Never Land with the Lost Boys. I used to like that movie Hook. I know there's more to this story that I don't know, and it would probably dissuade. I bet it's a lot darker than what people talk about, right? I wonder if kids that never grow up, if it has to do with disassociation. You want to go back and sit by Benny? I'll get you some apple. Okay. Hold on. You want some apple? You said you wanted apple, right? Yeah, I gotta get your apple here. Like when people kind of space out, zone out, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of think that that's what Never Land is.
Oh.
And I always often wonder if they're living in a land.
I want to follow them through. Follow them.
See, one of my biggest struggles in with life is living in a world where so many people profit from causing hurt to others, and it's allowed. It's allowed. It's like laws, you know. You know, it's a law that cause harm to this person. It's a law. It's a regulation. I need to regulate the public to make sure that everybody acts in accordance to whatever it is that I say when I feel in that moment. And these people can't control themselves. And society is dissolving right now. You gonna eat your apple or no? Don't share with the dogs. Artie, you're about to meet your maker. You're kind of freaking on the edge today, dude. I get it's the last day of freaking Pisces. You're squirrely, and just go. If it's oh so too much, go be where it's not too much for you. I'm so glad Pisces season is over, thank God. But then shit, here we got Aries. Here we go. Here we go with the fire and the vigor. And that's why I called today's talk More Brake, Less Gas. More brake, less gas. I had to go into town a couple times today, and both times, man, I do not like living in a tourist town. I don't like living in a people zoo. People are just cutting me off and racing here and racing there and riding my ass, and I was just going the speed limit, you know? Like, if it's so important to you to get to fucking Walmart in Taos, by all means, pass me, you know? So many sinners of the universe. I got a video of one dipshit, works for Kit Carson Gas, electric gas company, and he was going around reading meters. Dude stops in the middle of the road, doesn't have his blinker on. They have fucking flashing lights all over his truck. All these lights flashing, but not his blinker. So I'm like, what's he doing? Is he waiting for, is he going to pull out in front of, what, I don't know. He's not communicating with me with his blinkers, right? So I go up in front of him and pull around to go into the water hut to get my water, and he pulls into the trout business, the trout fishing store, and just pulls right, doesn't pull into like any kind of, just right in the middle of the driveway, stops, gets out, and I record him. I'm like, dude, you know, think, it's your world, dude. It's your world, machismo. I'm just living in it, you know? And then when he pulls out, this time he had his blinkers, so maybe he learned something. Maybe I educated the fucking dunce today, right? Because when you drive and you're turning someplace, use your fucking blinker, because it's like the law and shit. Company man. So he pulls out only to block the traffic going north, right? Because I guess I shook him. Oh no! I'm acting like an asshole, and now people are going to know I'm some kind of asshole. right? You can just go. Go lay down. It's every fucking day with you guys, man. Shit, Benny. You don't get to eat an apple. Dogs don't eat apples. Fuck me. Good girl, pretty. You're so pretty. What's you doing? She says, don't make it scary. It's to make it scary and not in a mood for the scary part. She's the goodest girl. I'm so glad that Pisces season is over. I cannot wait until 11:20 tonight. And that's spring solstice. Spring starts. Right? Winter's over. We're going to see all the people that emerge better versions of themselves. Right? They're going to come out with their beach bods ready. Right? That's what people do. They work really hard all winter long, emerging a better version. You know, winter's a cocoon for all of us. Did it work? I'm a better version, except I'm hurting. Everything hurts. Yeah, my back. And they keep freaking prolonging the cold. Because it benefits so few people that it's cold and that it snows. So people could travel from all around the world to come to Taos fucking ski fucking valley and go wee down a hill. But first they gotta drive through Taos. Be sure and do a tour. And when you do the tour of Taos, be sure to drive past the Starbucks that was burned down not once, not twice, but 3 times. Because evidently, fit heads don't like Starbucks. So, there's homeless camps that are popping up all over the place here. There's not that many people that live in this town, only like 6,000 people, but most people in the whole Taos County, it's like 34,000, I guess, and most of these people come from other places. They got all kinds of houses, and people just travel around from one place to another, living that best life. Not a care in the world. Everything's A-okay in their world because why? They don't look at fucking anything else. They won't concentrate on anything that makes them feel sad, and poor people make people feel sad. But price of everything goes up, but you Mom got a $20 raise from her Social Security, but I got a $50, so they took 30 of hers away. It's fucking retarded. So it's like the universe says, it's like, why do people think they have all this power? And, I got education, I got all these brains and shit, and we still can't seem to make more than $2,000 a month, right? Good, hardworking people, not worth shit in society's eyes, and that's what gentrification is all about, and it's happening everywhere. It's coming to the city near you. If people have money, they're gonna make the town how they want it, and they're just gonna make it so costly and uncomfortable that people have no choice but to leave, to go someplace else to take care of their families, right? I think it's a funny story that because Taos, New Mexico was never on my radar. I never freaking looked at a map and said, you know what, Ma? Let's go to fucking Taos, live there, see what kind of shithole we can be a part of in that community, right? No, that was never a part of it. But that mountain called us here. Because you're from here, Ma. And we have to teach people lessons on how not to treat people, You want to know what happens when people get thrown away? They grow up and act like me. That's what happens when people get thrown away. They grown up and act just like that. Just no, how am I supposed to have? I wonder about that. People are like, Marge, you're bad with boundaries. I said, I got so much Pisces, feel sorry for me because I'm bad with boundaries. And I was raped when I was a 10-month-old. So, People don't respect my boundaries. They never have. I want people to treat me with dignity and respect and kindness like I treat them, and they want to continue to treat me like shit. So when the first inclination that I throw a boundary out there just because that's what society says, you gotta respect yourself. Throw a boundary out there. Throw a boundary up. I throw a boundary up. People are like, fuck you. Oh, okay, they're not gonna respect my boundaries. I guess I'm just still, walking in this earth alone. I think it's so funny that I listen to all of these people. I listen to Molly McCord, Rick Levine, Astrology Hub, Robert Phoenix, right? I listen to what's that? Lori Lothian. I listen to what's her name? Aubrey Starr, Candace. I list all these different astrologers. I'm engaging in their comments. You would think astrologers know who people are, right? I tell them who I am. None of them wanted to have nothing to do with me. What is it in my chart that is such a turnoff for society, right? When I was little, I figured out that if I acted certain ways that I could fit in with people, right? But then what I noticed is people that make up the rules, like, you got to do this and fill out, like, job applications, dumbest thing in the world. You think fucking anybody in Congress or fucking in the White House, any nepotism, any group where nepotism is predominant, you think any of those people ever sat down and fucking actually filled out a job application? No. The job is already theirs. Right? So the way I look at it is like, well, if you're not gonna make other people do it, don't fucking put me through shit, right? You got people feel really small. They gotta control things, so they're gonna put you in your place. But I qualify for this benefit. Nope, I don't like your attitude. How many people have gone to jail because somebody called a cop some dumb shit, and he didn't like somebody's attitude? You don't get to put people in jail because you don't like that they don't like you, right? But how many people are in jail for stuff like that? How many times did I get in trouble because people didn't like the way I looked? Like, I don't even know what it is anymore that why people don't like me. I moved to Taos. I'm not a racist. Taos is a very racist place. It's a racist town. And I'm not a racist, so it's hard for me. And the Mexicans hate the freaking natives, and the natives, and it's just like, why don't you guys just forget about all that stupid stuff and like work together to fill the potholes, or to build community gardens, because food is going to be scarce here. It already is for a lot of people because they can't afford it. But you got to be have the right relatives, or have the right cousin, or have the right love. And you can do this, but you can't. I know I'm on the list of people that aren't allowed to do shit, But I'm going to try. I'm going to see if society's going to let me interject myself back into it with my ideas. That's how I can tell if the world's really changing or not. Or if it's just more of the same, self-serving. I think it's funny how people are starting to figure out, oh my God, I drank a lot and my health is deteriorating. Isn't that weird that people don't... Why is it such a disconnect that people don't think that alcohol kills people? When alcohol kills people every fucking day? Because it grabs people. And it makes people believe like it's their friend, and it'll always be there for them, and it'll make you feel better whenever you're down. And what people start it's a depressant, and it makes you feel down. And you might feel good for a little while, but it's always going to bring you back down, and it's never going to make your problems go away. And for a lot of people, it creates a lot more. And I wholeheartedly believe that a lot of this dementia, also a lot of the brain issues and memory issues that are transpiring in society right now have a great to deal with it. All have more to do with the fact that people can drink as much whiskey, drink whatever they want, whenever they feel like it, because they're a goddamn man or a goddamn woman or a grown ass adult or whatever they say. And as far as I'm concerned, alcohol is the fall of society. Alcohol took away the family unit more than fucking homosexuality ever did. You know? Think of all the generations where there's like 15, 17 women or women that had like all these kids, like these Catholics, like they got all these like I wonder how many times she had to participate in conception of those kids and she wasn't in the mood, but he didn't care. So how many people are on this planet because of unconsensual, because of with no consent, right? I mean, that's got to put a burden on the vibrational frequency of the earth, don't you think? Oh, girl, Luna, you're so pretty. She says, don't you bother me, I'm not even in a mood. Hey Bex, what's up? Oh my goodness, divided we fall. What are you doing, sir? I haven't seen, last time I looked at your channel, you were in one of the casinos. I think you were on vacation. It has been forever. Wow, so Bex and Divided We Fall. That's how Bex found me in Divided We Fall's chat. And Divided We Fall is here. Now, I'm sure that I met you, Divided, when Brody, thank you. It slipped my mind. I just ate a cookie. Forgive me, Brody. Because when I first started seeing your YouTube videos, you looked very familiar to me, like I met you before. And then one time you did a talk about how your girlfriend worked at Creighton University. And I ran the student service desk at Creighton University. Like Geek Squad, from 2011, 12, 13. No, it's 4 years, because it was like, I saw freshmen, they came in when I started, and then they graduated when I quit, because I couldn't work. And then I was like, dude, I wonder if he ever fucking came up to the window to get like a password change or something like that with his girlfriend. So... I mean, when we're supposed to meet people, we will meet people, God, I wonder how things are in frickin', because you live right by Yucca Valley, and my friend Deborah, who I didn't go to high school with her. I don't even actually remember how we met. I just started going over there and hanging out. I remember falling down a flight of stairs and landing, and I freaking tumbled all the way and then hit the bottom, and I had like a piece of beef, like I busted my elbow open. It was road rash, and I had a big old scab for days. Freaking sucked. See, I fall down drunk. Man, I have a hard time with gravity freaking without alcohol. So I got it. That's why I can't do it. I wish I could be one of those moderate drinkers, Well, they're going to have a glass of wine. Take the edge off. No, my glasses of wine are bottles. Once I start, I can't stop. I know not everybody's like that. I get that. Not everyone is like that. There's plenty of people that when you go to a party, you get a drink, and you set it down, and you go off and you mingle, and you're not thinking about where that drink is. Like, oh shit, what did I do with my drink? No, I'm concerned about my drink. I'm concerned about if I have enough drinks to last me the whole night. Because if people are drinking too much, there might not be enough for me, see. But whenever I went to parties, usually I have my 18-pack of Bud Light that I'd walk around with me. Right? Maybe I'd share one or two, but not too many, because the rest are all mine. Anyway, Deborah, she lives in Joshua Tree. is where she lives. So you might have run across her because she's got like, I mean, you know, like what color is her hair now? She works in hair in a salon, I think, or she did. Esty at NV Styling Studio. She's an esthetician at NV Styling, and NV Styling Studio is Palms Highway 109, Yucca Valley, United States. 57-725. So it's a hair salon. She did hair and she would never give me a haircut. That didn't make sense to me. Anyway. But she was always zany and crazy. She actually one night, sometimes the way people look on their pictures is weird to me. But she was a hostess when I worked at Chevy's Mexican restaurant. And then she moved to where, and then she went down to work at the little Indian restaurant. And she always made me laugh, so we kept in touch and stuff. And then she moved on to the Mission District in San Francisco, and life goes on, right? But she had a Halloween party one time. She was into weird shit. Shit I ain't into. Like, she was into, she was into taxidermy, and, like, you'd go to her house, and I'd get ice for my drink or whatever, and there'd be fucking dead birds and shit in the freezer and stuff like that. I'd go to her apartment, walk in, and they'd be watching snuff films. And that always bothered me. Because I don't, it's not entertaining for me to watch dudes fuck chickens. And it kind of troubles me that that's what other people find entertaining. Right? Because you just don't cause harm to anything else, is what I understand, right? Like, do whatever you want, but don't hurt nobody while you do it. And how many people are unconstitutionally incapable of living on this planet without causing harm to other people? I live in New Mexico. I see it every single day. I see it every day. Just like, don't cause harm, just, you know. I got to meet a nice young man the other day. Guy gave him a ride in Peru. He was from Peru. That was kind of cool. What was it today? What was it today? All I did today, I was just being a joyful being. People hate joyful people. I was in the grocery store. Not the grocery store. I was in the, Benny, I apologize. Didn't mean to. Okay, you're a good boy, Ben. You're a good boy. You're a very good dog. So I don't have any vices left. I used to drink, I used to smoke, I used to do all this stuff. I don't got none of that stuff left. You know, I don't, because it's not good for me. One thing I do is I eat my cookies, and I drank these cherry Sprites. And there's only a couple places in Taos that sell them. And so I go in the store today, and I'm in a lot of pain because my arthritis is acting up. It's cold. I can't take hot showers. Things are just real extra uncomfortable. So I move around a lot. And so I'm in the store, and I'm and sometimes that if I stop my feet, it'll take out the knots in my back. So I'm in the store, and because the line is taking forever, and I'm just entertaining myself. And there's a guy, two people in front. There's a person at the register. One register's open. She's checking out. Another lady's like putting inventory away, liquor, whatever. There's a man, biker dude, long hair, machismo, bro. And then there's a woman behind her, and then me. And I'm dancing, and there's like feet in between us, you know, so I'm not like, you know, on their ass, like, you know, but I'm dancing, minding my own business. And this guy turns around, And he looks at me. And then he looks at old girl in front of me behind him like, look at this crazy bitch, right? Because that's what you do when somebody's being joyful, minding their own business, dancing around. You gotta feel uncomfortable. You gotta make everybody else like, oh, see what's wrong with, like you feel inferior, so you gotta like get people on your team or some shit like that, right? So I'm just, and the guy like kept turning around because my feet are like smacking on the floor and stuff, and it's just like, dude, don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to pass the time. It's the lady that's freaking taking so long at the register, right? And so the guy like kept turning around and looking at me. So finally, I start doing this. Like, if you're gonna look at me, I'm gonna give you something to look at, you fucking machismo. And I know Robert today said, stay in your lane. I was in my lane. He came into my lane. Right? So now I'm like, okay, I'll pretend like I'm not flipping you off, but I'm blatantly flipping you off because you keep turning around and looking at me. And it's creepy. Like, if you don't like what I'm doing, ignore me. And then the lady in front of me was just like, you could tell I was making her butt pucker. She was just like, oh God, can we get through this? This lady is dancing behind me. There's a joyful person in my presence. Please, God, help me get out of this situation quick. Whatever God they believe in. So now the dude is like annoyed because he sees me flipping him off. But I'm like, dude, I wouldn't have flipped you off if you weren't fucking like making it so obvious that you were trying some sort of intimidation tactics or something, because I'm just dancing. And I can't hear what he's saying because I'm minding my own business, listening to my music, and he's like blah, blah, blah to the lady behind him. And so he goes up to this register. This woman gets her carton of cigarettes that's in front of me, and now it's my turn. The lady's like, do you need cigarettes? I said, no, those are kill ya. Because I used to smoke cigarettes. I did. And then it just didn't taste good. And then it's the smell. Like that, I could start smelling the stale cigarettes on me, and I was like, nope, this ain't for me. But I like cigarette smell on when other people are smoking. I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I had actually a cigarette smoke, like a dream the other night that I started smoking again. After being stopped for 13 years. It was a real dream. It was like a lucid dream, so it was extra trippy. So, and I don't fault, whatever people choose to do in their, we all have our own path, right? I just share, these are the things that don't work for me. If they work for other people, great. If they don't and they don't want to do the thing, these are the things that I did to stop it, right? And so the guy behind me goes, oh, that's the stuff that'll kill ya, pointing at my Sprite. Now they've been out of my Sprite. Now one of these Sprites will last me 4 days. I'll drink one in like a week, right? Because I'll just take a couple sips. Everything in moderation. And so since they were out the last 2 times I went in there, I usually just get 2, but this time I got 4 because they're out. And it'll last me 2 weeks, right? And so I go up to, the lady rings me up. She's like, how are you today? I said, what did I say? How did it go? I said, I just, living a joyful life, annoying people. I said, that's how I could tell that people aren't joyful, is because when I'm out and I'm just being me, that people want to stifle, or they'll be like, look at that weirdo, like make me less of what I already am. And anybody that does that to anybody else is a control freak. I didn't even know. And I know what it's like to control things. And I know that I control things because I'm scared about stuff that I don't have any power over. Right? Every time when I control things, things break. So I had to learn how to relinquish control, to allow the divine process to unfold the way it's supposed to, without trying to make it what's good for just old Marge. I ain't never really been with like that because of the environment I grew up in. I saw how that looked on other people, and I always thought it was ugly when people were selfish. And people, when I was little, even, they tell me, don't do that, Marge, it's selfish. Don't expect too much, Marge, it's selfish. One time, my dad picked me up from Denny's. That's where we had to meet, the custody suit. And I told Mom, I must have been 7 years old. I said, Mom, I don't know what to call him. Like, do I call him father? Do I call him dad? I don't know. And Mom never let me run from my problems, even when I was young. And she said, well, you need to address this. You need to tell him how you feel. And so when he came to pick us up from Denny's, I said, Dad, you think I could spend some time with you on this trip, on this visit, just you and me, so I could get to know you a little better? And he said, well, Jesus, Margie, how selfish. What do you expect me to do? You want me to ignore everybody else just to go out and hang out with you? How selfish. And there were times that I spent with my dad. He was a long-distance truck driver, and sometimes he'd pick me up and, in the truck in Redding, and I'd ride back down with them to Fresno and Bakersfield. Usually we wouldn't talk much, and when I'd ask him questions because I wanted to know about him, he would say things like, well, he would just ignore me, and then I would address why he's ignoring me, and then he would say, what's wrong with you? Don't you know I don't want to talk about it? Isn't my silence enough of a hint for you? I'm not good with hints. So. You smoke. Okay, wait, I gotta look at the chat. I smoked weed again for a few days in a row, first in a long time. I used to be a chronic, but not for the past. See, I think one day I'm gonna frick it. Bye. See you later. He's such a cool dude. You quit weed. That's cool. Yeah, I'm in Taos. World has gone off the rails. No, it's not owned by Chevy Chase. I probably wouldn't have worked there. Yeah, I think one day there's going to be a day where I'm not going to do the weed no more neither. I think, or I'm not going to smoke it, or I'm just going to do the oils and the RSO and the stuff like that, because I'm too sensitive too, I think. And what I do is, like, when I go into town is I won't do anything. I'll just go in just completely straight and then handle my business and then come home and eat a cookie or whatever. Because we're coming into Aries season, and freaking, dude, this eclipse ain't no joke, man. The energy of this eclipse. And my birthday's on the 9th. I'm going to be 50. And I'm trying to resolve all the feelings with that, because I wanted to have a big old party and invite everybody I ever cared about and let them show up. And it'd be a big old fun thing. And it ain't going to work out that way. So, I think this year I'm going to just do whatever I can to not set myself up for disappointment. So I'm going to try and head into it without any kind of expectation. Think I might have the axles done on the Suburban. I think I'm going to have the CV joints and the axles done. So then I'll just have one more thing that it needs, and she'll be ready for another 200,000, 250,000 miles. So 200,000, 180,000 miles. So she's into my, but things are starting to get more active. People are starting to get more vibrant, more busy, more stuff is going on. I still haven't decided if I'm going to go into town and tell the mayor what I think, but I don't think that's until tomorrow, the next day. I don't know. I gotta look it up. But anyway, I just, I know myself. I know myself real well. And I'm tired. I'm tired of having to be less of who I am just to make other people feel comfortable in the world, you know? Like every time I go out, every time I do anything, I gotta taper myself down. Just because this is how the meek is inheriting the earth, man. I don't know what people are all freaking tripped out about, WW3. Dude, this nation's, dude, it ain't gonna be fought like any other kind of war. Thank goodness, because our military shit, the readiness of freaking all the branches, or, dude, dude, I think, what was I the last troop to be threatened and kicked out unless I made fitness standards? Because is that not a thing anymore? Because, like, everybody ballooned up as soon as I left. I got out of the Air Force and everybody, Just like all those rules and policies and procedures were put in place to weed out people they don't like. Military's a weird thing, but when I went to college back in 2004, 2005, my teacher was a retired Air Force guy from Offutt, the base I was stationed at. And we all sat around and talked about how it's going to be, if people want to freaking ruin your life, they're going to do it electronically. If people want to freaking ruin somebody, they're going to make sure that they can't get to their money. If people want to freaking, they're going to come up with other ways to make things difficult for other people. See, I went to school for IT. So I ain't no hacker because there's karma to that. You don't mess with people's stuff, man. Why don't people just get you? Just don't mess with people's stuff. People that think they're God mess with people's stuff. So much consequences to that. Well, I guess they'll learn. That's their path, right? That's their path. So, anyway, how you doing, Ma? You ready to go lay down, brush teeth? A friend of mine, I had this epiphany today, cause there's the beliefs out there. I don't know how you'd find it, but I heard a woman talk about it in astrology, and I've had my beliefs, and then I hear other people talk about it, and it kind of verifies what I already People say you don't know what you don't know, but I think people know what they know, right? So inadvertently, you kind of know what you don't know. But hold on a sec, I'm losing it. I guess it's gone. I should probably write. Oh, that's what it was. And so my friend, I was like, she just had some dental work done. Because the reading that I heard was, when people have issues with the mother, it causes dental problems in your top teeth, right? When people keep thinking about how mad they are because when they were little, or they didn't get treated like this or whatever, I use it as stories as examples. I don't carry any emotion. I'm not mad at Mom. I'm not mad at my dad for shit that happened so long ago. If anything, I get annoyed with my dad because he still treats me with the same disregard as he always had. It hasn't changed, so I had to let just resolve that relationship, that if I don't call him, I don't talk to him. For years and years. And that's just how it is. But if I want to know what's going on, I'll call and ask, or I'll send him a text message, And so, and when you have problems and issues with the father, it messes up, it wreaks havoc on your bottom teeth. And people can come out and be like, oh, she's got mommy issues, she's got daddy issues. And I just smile real big and go, no, I don't, because I resolved them. I forgave them. Because every 7 years, on a cellular basis, people become different human beings. We evolve into different versions of ourselves. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep the versions of myself that aren't going to harden my heart and make me dark and cynical and ugly and gross like so much of what I see in the world. That's all I want to do is if I could freaking take my last breath with some semblance of happy, some peace and serenity in my heart, you know, after living the hell that I've lived through on this planet, sober, abstaining from alcohol, because nobody in my family could do that before. You know, my grandma didn't drink because she saw what alcohol did to her family and stuff like that. And I drank, and now I don't because I see what it does to people, including myself. I don't like going to the places that it takes me, and I don't like treating people the way that I treat people because I don't care. It's my magic elixir of indifference, and I don't give a fuck. And that's gross. So, people could say whatever they want. They've been trying to, you know, my brother says I'm crazy. You know, she's always been so emotional. All that gaslighting stuff. People know me to be consistent and concise and loyal and steadfast. So I'll just keep being me and acting like, you know, like I always have, and just try not to go to the dark side. That's what I was telling the guys at the park today. I said, you know, if I can't find a freaking decent place to live that's safe for me and mom, where I can just have a garden and open the door and let all the dogs out into just like a little freaking 25, you know, like a little 10-foot square foot area, so they could just walk out and all go to the bathroom, so I don't have to take them out once at on a time in a leash. If I can't manifest something like this, then what the fuck is the point of being a good person? Maybe I should just become another scumbag scoundrel like the rest of them. At least, you know, just go out and lie and cheat and steal just to get whatever I want. I don't even have that in me. I can't even do it. So, anyway. Got a minivan for sale if you know anybody around Taos, New Mexico wants to buy one. Someone could live in it if they want. I'm just not a two-vehicle person. It helped us escape from Flagstaff. You know what I got from Flagstaff? So I drove past a couple times where Cappy got capped. Isaac Cappy, he got thrown off the freaking overpass there. Yeah, so I got to resolve all that all that information and data that he knew from the energetic point from which he left this earth. Anyway, that's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a rad day.